Happy Easter, everyone, especially to the unpaid carers continuing to care during this difficult time. My name is Matthew Mckenzie, a carer representative and unpaid carer covering carer groups in London. Now, it's been a while since I talked about or promoted care and networking. The last video I did was on care and networking, I suppose back in 2017. However, it is now 2021 and I've decided to do some updates on what I have learned from networking with unpaid carers. And back in 2017, I was running close to 4 carer forums that engage with their local mental health trust, that being South London and Morsley NHS Foundation Trust. Now, as of 2021, I still run those 4 carer groups, but I also run carer peer support group in Greenwich, and with that also a care forum. Although I have been continuing to run other care forums for another mental health trust, and also I'd say BAME or ethnic care peer support groups, and also forums. However, I would say networking and empowering carers is the name of the game. Also continuing to work on my second book regarding carers engagement with each other and networking. And what I've learned so far is that it's best to continue to strengthen those carer groups. So let's get into it a bit more. What have I learned up until this year, going back from 2017? Well, the first thing being carer support groups is I do not often go to carer support groups as much as I used to, which I mean by that is using the support of carer peer support groups. But even though I'm not actually caring full time anymore, I seek to share my knowledge and wisdom in running carer peer support groups. Now, what I mean by such groups, if you're on unpaid care and you don't know much about such groups, is that usually local care centres provide those. You can go to the groups and meet other unpaid carers, discuss with them how things are going for yourself, and learn from each other. So far, I've had 3 of them that I tend to run. And I always advocate that unpaid carers keep an eye out for each other when they go to these groups. Now, out of all the care networking activities, that being care support groups, I suppose they're the most common and the most easiest to access and the most easiest to use if your local care centre provides them. Now, as mentioned before, you can feedback about how your caring role is working out, and as mentioned before, you can learn from other carers. It's all about solidarity and not feeling isolated. It's about strengthening your identity and a way of healing. The next thing that I've learned is actually carer forums. Out of all my carer groups, I have many carer forums. Now, they are not support groups. It's not their aim. The idea of carer forums is empowerment and setting an example and gaining knowledge. Now, care forums are a space for carers to get together and invite speakers whose decisions affect the carer's role. Now, when I say speakers, I'm talking about the engagement to local mental health services, mental health trusts, those who lead on carer strategies that aim to involve and include families and carers who are caring for someone with a mental illness. Now, there is little to no time to hear carers' stories. We just want to hear about updates on mental health services or updates on health and social care, or either on carer co-production, involvement, or inclusion. For carers, it's vital to have access to a carers forum, and it's also recommended to build one up. Otherwise, no one knows what's going on for carers out there in the community or getting involved in an inpatient setting. Now, an advantage of a care forum is it can hold to account the health and social care services or mental health services, while carer peer support can sometimes be a way of coping, but not actually changing anything. Hence, I would say you're just given support, but nothing really helps better the services. Care forms are very hard to build up and form, and one needs to keep a good relation with those who provide those services. The next thing that I've learned in regards to care and networking, which is probably one of the most simplest, and that's basically ringing known carers that you've kept in contact with. And yeah, it's basically a form of peer support, but with the advent of new technology, hence social media groups, Facebook groups, WhatsApps, Skypes, video conferencing, it's now easier to form groups and to watch out for each other, keep an eye on each other. Now I've close to around about 6 WhatsApp care groups, and they are growing quite fast. Carers often ask advice and information on those groups or on the phone, I would say. And you might never know when a carer is in need of desperate help. The next thing that I've learned for 2021 in regards to care networking is actually attending care awareness events. I should put in brackets online because we're in the midst of what you call the coronavirus pandemic. However, it's still fairly easy to attend these events from your room. Obviously, if you have access to, let's say, a tablet or even a mobile phone, laptop, or computer, which would be better. As mentioned before, a lot of these events are run online via applications called Zoom or Microsoft Teams. Now, this is how I run my care forums. I've had to move them all online just to avoid people coming in close contact with each other and to practice more of the social distancing. Obviously, keep an eye out for the awareness events. Hence, when national awareness events come up, you might get a chance to sign up for an online event, especially let's say Young Carers Awareness Day or Carers Awareness Week or Carers Rights Day, or even mental health or health awareness events. You can use Eventbrite to book on such events or keep an eye out for when they appear, especially ones from your local mental health trust. The key is to notice the participants at those events and perhaps exchange contact details. So the fifth thing that I've learned in regards to care and networking in 2021 is you can try and still sign up for online carer forums. Now, I know Carers UK, a national charity regarding carers or unpaid carers, Carers UK have an online care forum, and it's worth signing up to that forum. Even if you don't have anything to write or say, you can at least read some of the past forum posts. Now, they have a wealth of knowledge that you can read up on in regards to your current situation. And don't forget other mental health online forums. You can get some from another organization called Sane, another charity, or Mind. And the last thing I want to say about what I've learned on care and networking is, as again, with the advent of technology, and this is about developing your own care network, it's never been easier to develop your own group. Think about getting support from your local care center. Again, they can promote it, advertise it. And once you've signed up for a Zoom account, you can always run your own. You can always host your own care online meeting or online support group. The trick is to use Eventbrite to advertise those groups. Or, you can have your health and social care services help advertise them. And it's also vital for carers to understand care and network. And otherwise, we can become isolated, unguided, and we just don't know what is going on with those services or a way to influence them. As a network, it is easier to speak with one voice. So to sum it all up, what I've learned from 2017 to 2021 on care networking is that the pandemic has pushed many things online. Technology is vital. It's cheap, it's fast, efficient, but it's not personal. You can't have that close therapeutic relationship online, but it's a start. And to be honest, there's still a lack of national carer networking or national carer support. Thank you for watching, and more videos to come about shortly.